Follow your dreams to Groganstown Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Make them a reality. Lease a 2026 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Bighorn with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty, just $259 per month, or $189 per month with lease loyalty during Ram Truck Month. Don't just dream it. Own it today at Groganstown Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, 6100 Telegraph Road, or Groganstown.com. Employee pricing $39.95 down plus tax, title fees, 27-month lease, 10,000 miles per year, 30 cents overage. See dealer for details.
There's a special kind of energy you only find at the University of Nevada, Reno. Whether you're conducting research in one of our world-class labs or exploring the shores of Lake Tahoe, here you can truly be yourself. From cultural festivals on the quad to internships at global tech hubs, you'll find your people. Join a close-knit community in one of the country's most beautiful regions, all with a tuition you can afford. Find your pack at unr.edu/explore.
Warning, the following podcast contains offensive language and profanity.
This week's episode of The Scathing Atheist is brought to you by that brief glimmer of hope you get when the plurality of voters in Marjorie Taylor Greene's district vote for a Democrat. And now, The Scathing Atheist.
Hi, I'm Kyle. I'm a service member currently deployed to an undisclosed location. I can confirm that we did in fact evolve from filthy, monkey people.
Thursday.
It's March 12th.
And it's World Day Against Cyber Censorship. Damn it.
No, that one was me. I don't know where our audience would even get a walrus. I'm no illusions.
I'm Eli Bosnick. I'm Heath Enright. And from Martha Stewart's New Jersey, Ann Arbor, Michigan,
right.
and Waycross, Georgia, this is The Scathing Atheist. On this week's episode, Greg Locke's dark web of Satanist enemies forget to pay his parking tickets for him. Pope Bobby goes full jestermaxx and clowns hard on the looksmaxxing community.
And Don will be here to put the easy in Ephesians. That doesn't work.
But first, the diatribe.
So this will mark the first diatribe of my 50s. And I know that turning 50 is supposed to be terrifying and all, but I kind of dig it so far. The 50s is the first decade with any real exclusivity. Plus, given the proclivities of my youth, I feel like by making it to 50, I probably cost a couple of people a few bucks in some pool somewhere. But here I am, 50 years old, able to survey a full half century of experience, minus the first couple of years where I wasn't really forming memories. But from what I'm told, I was mostly just shitting myself and screaming hysterically for that part. So I'm not missing much in those memories. A lot of predictions, it turns out, have been wrong. I was supposed to turn more conservative at some point. I was supposed to get a haircut and a real job. But most of all, of course, I was supposed to turn religious. I was supposed to somehow go back to a church that I never went to in the first place. I was supposed to mellow out, see the wisdom of organized religion, embrace tradition, and find God. But it turns out that the people who find the invisible superhero in the cloud story convincing were wrong. See, their rationale went something like this. As you move closer to death, you get more and more terrified by your mortality, so you try to escape it with fairy tales, which, to be fair, is not how they would probably phrase it. They would probably have the therefore as something like, you get old, therefore you reflect on your life and need a purpose or a direction to make it all feel worthwhile, blah, blah, blah. Now, of course, regardless of how you phrase it, it falls prey to the same fallacy. So a lot of people do become more religious as they get older, but those are, generally speaking, religious people, right? Because if you're already religious, it makes sense that religion would become more important as you get older. You're getting closer to the fucking payoff. So for a lot of people that were like raised religious and then sort of lapsed in terms of church attendance when they were in their carefree 20s and 30s, I guess getting older would serve for them as a trigger to get right with God. Plus all that irreligious shit that seems so important to you in your 20s and 30s gives you heartburn and backaches now. So all this churchy shit has less of a downside when you're 50. And look, in popular culture, we like to reduce the midlife crisis to a man's response to the decreasing aptitude of his penis. because it's way easier to make jokes about flaccid penises than to make jokes about the realization that one's death is almost certainly closer than one's birth on one's personal timeline. But midlife crises are not gender specific. It's easy to mostly ignore mortality when you're 25 because your eternity is only 25 years long and you probably have 2 whole eternities left. I mean, death will still haunt you from time to time, right? People do die young. So maybe you have a close shave or a friend about your age dies, or you just go through a really morbid episode in your life and you think a lot about your own death. Whatever it is, death intrudes on you at every age. But when you're young, it's relatively easy to push the snooze button on those thoughts. Relative, that is, to how hard it is to do when you're 50. And for most people, of course, the snooze button is religion. Whether it's something as formalized as some particular type of Christianity or just a vague belief that there's some form of afterlife, when people want to put off thoughts about their own personal use-by date, nothing beats religion. Hell, if it wasn't such a handy place to hide bigotry, I would say that that was religion's entire purpose. But when you're an atheist, and I don't just mean a nun or an uncommitted agnostic, but a full-blown, I thought this shit through and concluded that all the religions are full of shit atheist, you don't have a snooze button. You know, maybe you can distract yourself here and there. Maybe you can chase away the thoughts with drugs and alcohol or something, but mostly you're just going to have to confront them. And not just when you reach the ripe old age of AARP eligibility, but the whole fucking time. See, for religious people, the death question never has any real resolution. Even the most devoutly religious person still harbors some doubt about their blessed eternity. You can tell by the way they cry at funerals and avoid dying. It's also so wildly improbable that they're right, given everything we know about how the universe works, that it's almost impossible not to keep realizing you're wrong over and over and having to chase that thought away. So as you get closer to dying, you have to work harder and harder to pretend that dying doesn't count. But once you admit that dying does count, there's no additional pressure to admit that harder and harder as you get older. See, it turns out, as crazy as this sounds to some people, that the key to coping with the scary stuff in front of you is opening your eyes.
They're talking about your Jesus.
We interrupt this broadcast and bring you a special news bulletin.
Joining me for headlines tonight are the Lincoln and Midtown to my Holland, Heath Enright, and Eli Bosnick. Fellas, are you ready to dig in?
Lincoln, the pride of the GOP tunnel. Love it.
And I do go places that nobody wants me to go. So this fits. This works for everybody.
In our lead story tonight, Greg Locke has suffered attacks from a long and impressive list of enemies in his days. The most obvious, of course, is Satan, the Prince of Darkness, who has attacked Locke a number of times. Mm-hmm. Most recently by inspiring accusations of financial mismanagement and spiritual abuse by former employees. That damn devil. There was also, of course, the coven of witches that infiltrated his church and might have succeeded in their efforts to turn him to the dark side if God hadn't revealed their names to him through a demon-possessed congregant. There was the would-be assassin that fired rounds into his house in an effort to silence the Christian message. That is what happened. Well, this week, we can add to that list the Illuminati, who are trying to trick you into thinking he got arrested for driving on a suspended license, apparently, which did not happen no matter what the police reports and mug shots might tell you.
Yeah, it's a classic Illuminati move. Just hanging out with the Illuminati, being like, guys, yeah, I'm getting bored with controlling all the money and the power in the entire world. You want to do a prank on Gregory Locke, the guy from Mount Joliet, Tennessee?
Yeah, we'll make it extra sneaky by prosecuting him for crimes that are entirely his fault. It's perfect.
Yeah. Perfect crime.
It's perfect.
There you go. Now, so to be honest, the whole thing is a bit of a nothing burger of a story up to the point of the vociferous denials, which makes them even weirder. Right? So Locke was stopped at a gas station near his ministry, probably for yelling at an employee that if he's not allowed to put that many sugar packets in his coffee, they shouldn't leave that many in the fucking bin. But that's just speculation.
These are free.
Yeah.
That's the law.
Exactly.
I'm taking these pennies too.
But when they ran his information, they found that his license had been suspended a while back for failing to provide proof of insurance during some other traffic stop. He was arrested and released on his own recognizance, which, to be clear, is very little recognizance. And according to the cops who booked him, he was in and out of the police department in like 6 or 7 minutes. Like I said, pretty unexceptional story. But then he tried to pretend it never happened.
Okay,
I know coffee and sugar aren't the same as alcohol, but if you blow into that thing in your ignition and that device gets diabetes right away, you probably shouldn't be driving.
Yeah. Well, at least Locke doesn't have a history of outspoken support for cruel punishment for arbitrary crimes of government paperwork.
Yes.
Otherwise, this would be a real doozy.
Right.
Huh?
He should be sent to a fucking gulag.
How's he even pressing the pedals with no feet? It doesn't make sense. It's dangerous. It's a public safety issue.
So the denial came in the form of a Facebook post after the story of his arrest broke, in which he said, quote, "To everyone jumping on a silly bandwagon, I did not get arrested today or ever. I went down to the booking room voluntarily with my counsel because my license was unknowingly suspended over not sending in proof of insurance after I paid a ticket months ago," end quote. But that is being arrested, right? That's what that
arrested,
word
man.
means. When you go to the booking room, they're arresting you there. That's what the
Book 'em,
booking is.
Dano?
Right. You should know. Yeah.
It's an expression for arrest him.
But also,
Dano.
as exonerating as it isn't, it also doesn't comport with the police account. Right. So while reports are unavailable at the moment because the case is ongoing, cops told the Tennessean that this all happened after they questioned him at a gas station. So when he says he went down there voluntarily, I think he just means he didn't fight the cops when they tried to arrest him.
Yeah, here's the thing. I enjoyed the times I got handcuffed, like, way too much. And the cops did not appreciate the noises I made. But that doesn't mean I wasn't arrested.
Right, exactly.
Because I enjoyed that part.
I'm actually checking out the local ordinances here, and it says here in Tennessee, it doesn't count as an arrest if they don't put you in the spit hood.
Oh.
So I think that's he's
Okay.
probably using that.
Yeah, it might be.
technicality.
Now, of course, the arrest that didn't happen has done nothing to dampen the enthusiasm of his supporters, who apparently dismiss his claims that he didn't get arrested as readily as we do, but they think it makes him cooler, right? Like he's the bad boy of charismatic Christian nationalism. And they're pointing out that the apostles Paul, Peter, and John were all arrested as well, as was the savior himself, Donald Trump. So, having a mugshot actually puts him in pretty good company. And I'm sure that publicly espousing enthusiastic support for the idea of their spiritual leaders breaking more laws will never bite Christianity in the ass at all. This will be fine.
And in Hoosier Sky Daddy news, after doing this job for more than a decade, we've seen every form of resistance to religious assholery you can imagine. Collectivism, the law, politics, other religious people who are willing to lie about what their holy books say, and of course, the Uno reverse. The hope that saying that your religious belief is to get to do the things that other religious people say their belief says you can't. And for the first time in a decade of doing this podcast, that tactic seems to have worked, as Indiana's near total abortion ban has been halted because, according to a state court, it violates the rights of a certified class whose members don't share the Christian religious belief that life begins at conception.
You hate to see it. Eggs coming home to roost. It's gotta shoes on the other fetus. You can say.
Right. So first off,
pro-choice did by your own petard.
There you go. Yes.
Roll of threes.
Yeah. So a big thanks to the one and only Stormy D for sending us this story, and the excellent pun to scathingnews@gmail.com. When we finally start our anti-religion religion, no backsies, Stormy D shall be the patron saint of helpful emails in Stormy Ni Patris. ScathingNews@gmail.com.
Yeah, we were going to make you the patron saint of excellent puns, but he threatened to kill himself on the air if we did that. We're not going to.
He did. The term he used was full Bud Dwyer.
Yeah.
So this decision comes to us from Judge Christina R. Kleinman of the Indiana Supreme Court, Marion County, and her argument is exactly the triple stamp, double stamp you love to see. She argues that on one hand, the ban, quote, interferes with class members' religious beliefs that a pregnant person's mental or physical health takes precedence over that of a zygote, embryo, or fetus, end quote, which it does. But the judge also pointed out that by carving out exceptions for rape, incest, and the danger to the life of the mother, the ban does not protect the religious belief in the sanctity of fetal life. Or as we might put it, you guys are liars, and the pro-choice people are also liars, but their lies are more consistent, so they win.
Okay, I get what you're saying, but I'd only say that first part. They're liars. So for me, all the meat inside my body is mine and only mine, and I can kill some or all of it whenever I want. And that's 100% consistent
He can
and true.
Bud Dwyer anytime.
Exactly. I meant liars about God's meat killing policies, but it's a fair point. It's a fair point.
Also, if the rule is all the meat inside one's body is killable, I want to like maybe a temporary waiver when having sex with people on that.
That's the dice you roll when you put it in Heath Enright. You gotta roll them bones. So this decision has permanently blocked the law's enforcement and additionally issues a narrow permanent injunction intended to apply only when an abortion is a necessary exercise of religious beliefs and doesn't fall within one of the exceptions, which means this will need to be appealed at the federal level before it can be overturned. And that appeal looks unlikely, given that the judge has framed this as a religious freedom issue, and even a Supreme Court as blatantly theocratic as ours probably would have a hard time declaring this is the religion that counts within that legal context.
Yeah, the Supreme Court majority, they're nothing if not sticklers about intellectual honesty. So yeah, nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
Should be fine.
no, if you want to put some money on that appeal looks unlikely prediction, I'll take it. The interesting gamble, honestly, is what new universe they will have to concoct to pretend they're being consistent here.
Exactly. Yeah, no, the DC writers are looking at them like, too much, guys.
Yeah.
Too much. Too many reboots.
Time machine?
Yeah, so big ups to this judge. Here's hoping this decision protects the reproductive rights of Hoosiers for quite a bit, while anti-choice assholes figure out how to, I don't know, unsay their own names in the dark dimension to which they've been banished.
And in Democracy Dies in Whiteness News.
Oh, well done.
The Washington Post is still using Democracy Dies in Darkness as their motto, which is true, but coming from them, it feels a lot like journalistic malpractice.
Oh, I see. I thought it was aspirational.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right. Just
so,
watch.
For context, they've been losing money recently, especially with tons of people canceling their subscriptions in protest of, well, Jeff Bezos being a massive piece of shit. But they're hoping they can turn things around with a spicy new opinion section.
Ooh.
And speaking of journalistic malpractice, we're going to talk about an essay they published this week. It came from evangelical author Aaron Renn in a piece entitled, Why America Needs Evangelicals on the Supreme Court and More. And by the way, the original title was, Evangelicals Are Missing from the Halls of Power. That's a Problem.
Are they?
Yeah, we need more man buns among baristas is next week.
Yeah.
They thought the two were...
Well, I mean, they're only a little over twice as represented in Congress as in the general populace. So they're practically invisible. So I get it.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it.
And a big thanks to Hemant Mehta for covering the story over at The Friendly Atheist. Hemant has the option of nut checking Eli for all the stuff we had to bleep when Eli was offering prizes to Hemant. And trust me, Hemant, I've heard behind the bleep, you can go hard and it would be justified.
It's true, Hemant. You have been objectified behind that bleep and you are owed recompense. And there's a number at the bottom of the screen right now.
Perfect.
For Hemant to come. It's just Noah's cell phone.
So if the name Aaron Renn sounds familiar, but can't quite put your finger on it, that's because he's the author of Life in the Negative World, Confronting Challenges in an Anti-Christian Culture. Yes, the Aaron Renn, that Aaron Renn. So here's how he starts the essay. Quote, evangelicals are 23% of U.S. adults and one of the most loyal Republican voting blocs, with 81% backing Donald Trump in 2024. Yet, despite 6 of the 9 Supreme Court justices being appointed by Republican presidents, there are no evangelicals on the Supreme Court, end quote.
That's right, podcast listener. His essay literally boils down to, it's not enough to have them do our bidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, man, if that wasn't the single hall of power, he sure would sound like a fucking idiot, wouldn't he? Although, hey, kudos for finding a way of phrasing, I don't trust all those damn Catholics that the WAPO figured you could get away with.
Yeah, it sounds really rough for Aaron Renn and the evangelicals. The Supreme Court just constantly ruling in favor of atheists and Muslims. That's gotta hurt.
They're our precious babies. Yeah. We love them so much.
So from there, Aaron Renn explains that evangelicals are amazing at politics and business. Just look at luminaries like Josh Hawley and Mike Johnson, or Tyson Foods. Maybe you've heard of it. Hobby Lobby. Seriously, those are his actual examples of their best and brightest.
Wow.
And then he complains that evangelicals are not represented at prestigious universities, major foundations, big tech companies, leading financial firms, and large media companies.
Trivia contests. And that gap after someone says, "What's the word for blank?" Bigotry, I say.
Okay. So after he lists that problem he believes exists, he accidentally adds my favorite part. He writes, quote, "One response to this situation might be, who cares?" And I was like, yeah, yep.
And hey, big shout out to the Washington Post for letting Heath write one line of that guy's op-ed. That was nice of them. That was a credit where credit's due.
Hey, Heath would never interrupt an enemy while he's in the middle of making the "we're not as smart as most people" point, right?
No, this was like, please proceed, Governor.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was just about to make a please proceed joke.
Absolutely.
Oh, if you get that, your back hurts. And your heart.
I miss Barack so much. So here's the answer to the question of who cares from Ren. The answer is you should care.
Should?
Yeah, you should. He explains how public trust in our institutions has eroded. And that's why Donald Trump had no choice but to erode public trust in our institutions with crazy lies about elections and a giant fascist campaign against universities and, you know, the very concept of truth. And the evangelical community had no choice but to erode trust in our institutions because science and reality are notoriously secularly biased unfairly.
Can I say that's true?
It is true. Here's the actual argument from Ren. Quote, "This erosion of public trust has begun to endanger the status of those institutions, as reflected in Trump's campaign against universities. A stronger evangelical presence in elite institutions could strengthen them while addressing polarization and public mistrust. The lack of evangelicals in the halls of power contributes to anti-institutional public sentiment. It also deprives those institutions of an important pool of talent." End quote.
Also, why don't you try to be the bully's friend? I bet deep down he's lonely.
Well, it's worse, right? So, look, given that as soon as you hit the critical mass of like 3 evangelicals in a university setting, they start demanding the Earth's long-form birth certificate. It reads more like a call to batter the bully's fist with our noses until his hand tires out.
Yeah. So here's the part where I picked up my laptop and almost threw it. I was furious.
You saw the crooked smoke alarm in your home again? Are you looking at it right now?
Okay, I'm going to move right past it.
Right behind your monitor.
After describing evangelical Christians as this untapped pool of amazing talent, he tries to back that up by saying they're perfect for bridging the gap between elite institutions and the average American. Because evangelicals, 81% of which voted for Donald Trump in 2024, are all about helping out the average American.
Are they?
Exact words. As a traditionally middle-class movement, evangelicalism has thrived by being in touch with the culture and concerns of middle and working-class America.
Yeah, unless you include how they disagree with the average American on literally every social and political issue.
Right, other than that. So it's like, okay. So you know how when the ordinary working class Americans, like, I don't know, like join a fascist military and shoot people in the back for helping other innocent people that they just incapacitated with pepper spray. Like evangelicals are the only ones willing to defend them online. It's like that.
It's patriotic for the middle class. Yep.
Yeah.
So, okay, all that being said, I want to be fair to Aaron Wren. That was crazy what I just said. I don't know why I said that. No, I don't. I don't at all want to do that at all. But okay, here we go. At the very end of his piece, he almost hears it. He explains that evangelicals should take some of the blame for not being part of these important institutions of science and tech and higher learning. Here's the closing of the essay. Quote, "There are simply too few evangelicals qualified for or even interested in those positions today. Okay, he's definitely correct about the qualified part.
Yeah.
Also, he continues, evangelicals need to do better at productively collaborating with people who have different beliefs, a necessity in a pluralistic country, end quote. So almost started to get somewhere.
Admittedly, it's our wholesale rejection of modernity that's resulted in any one rejection that we could pretend we experience, and that is our bad. we need to do medium rejection of all modernity.
Yeah, no, it's weird that at no point in his op-ed does he acknowledge that evangelical churches actively counsel their members not to go to college, lest they learn how full of shit their churches had been this whole time, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I'd love to give him a little credit for the end there, but he does not close it out with, I don't know, but seriously, we got to stop being ignorant idiots who believe in a bigot ghost who created the universe. That's a must add if you want partial credit from me. So
Fair.
Not giving you partial credit. And just one other important issue here. Aaron Wren looks like Dilbert got really sick.
Oh, he does.
Really sick.
He does, though.
He looks like a where Mr. Clean, and like he's doing a bad job hiding
right,
it.
I was
The
seeing him
moon's already
halfway
out.
between. Yeah, right. And quick while Aaron explains to someone else that it's not cancer, it's a fashion choice, we're going to take a quick break and hand things over to my lovely wife, Lucinda.
Okay, well, now it's confusing what I meant.
Yeah, now they don't understand.
A man wrote the Bible. A whore is what she was.
If it's a legitimate rape,
It makes you a slut, right? Cooking can be fun.
Hey, I'm proud of a man.
This week in misogyny.
If you want an example of a woman starting a war that wasn't an uprising against a colonial power or slave owners or something, I'm pretty sure you have to go back to the First Illyrian War in 229 BCE. And honestly, I think Queen Teuta gets a bad rap on that one. The point is that historically speaking, if you want a more peaceful world, you should put more women in charge. I mean, I can't prove that Kamala Harris wouldn't have gone to war against Iran if Netanyahu had claimed his dick was bigger than hers, but I don't think I need to, except to that minority of non-voters still desperately trying to morally justify the refusal to meaningfully stand in the way of a Trump's dictatorial takeover of the U.S. government. And I don't really feel like I need to justify anything to those assholes. But of course, we don't actually want a more peaceful world, or at least we don't want it bad enough to elect penisless leaders. According to the most recent data from the UN, we're actually moving backwards in that regard. Only 1 in 7 UN nations is led by women, which is actually down 4% from last year. Women only account for about 22% of the cabinet posts worldwide and about 27.5% of parliamentary seats. Hell, only 1 in 3 UN countries has ever been led by a woman. And I'd argue that the situation in Iran is a direct result of that fact. But of course, that's probably because I'm just not a good Christian woman. As Arizona pastor Dale Partridge pointed out to his congregation last month, women will never be happy if they're, quote, insubordinate feminist women, end quote. Which is probably true because there will always be people like Arizona pastor Dale Partridge fucking up our happiness. But I'd much rather be perpetually dissatisfied than okay with getting lower pay, worse medical care, fewer promotions, and less everything. His solution, however, was to model what he calls, quote, joyful submission. Motherfucker, the only way you're ever gonna see me practice a joyful submission is if the feminist Navy tasks me with torpedoing your ass from underwater. Of course, as a person who espouses feminist ideals so often, I suppose I'm obligated to admit it when problems with feminism are pointed out. And that was certainly the case when I came across a clip on Right Wing Watch of a pastor named Randy Caldwell pointing out that the only reason we still have disease is, wait for it, abortion. Now, the connection might not seem obvious to lesser minds than ours that aren't tapped into the inner workings of God's intentions, so he explains. You see, God has already implanted the cure to every disease known to man into the unborn mind of some child to come. But damn it if we don't keep aborting all the ones with that critical knowledge. So it's really our fault we still have AIDS and Parkinson's. Not so much for the people born in the thousands and thousands of years before God put that knowledge in the doomed fetus's brainlet, but modern AIDS patients should have just been more anti-abortion. Of course, he doesn't go into detail on why an all-knowing deity would put life-saving information in the brain of a fetus he already knew was going to be aborted, but I'm sure he addressed it. Probably some mysterious way or another. But with that mea culpa out of the way, I suppose I can wrap things up and hand you back over to Noah, Heath, and Eli.
Thank you, Lucinda. And in Groomer Rumors news tonight, a lot of people underestimate my home state of Georgia's progressive bona fides, but this is a state with 2 Democratic senators, for the time being, just for a minute, and a state that voted correctly in 50% of the last 2 presidential elections and 2 of the last 9. And I'm proud to say that our statewide liberalism is on display yet again as the state moves to make it illegal for clergy members to sexually assault people under their authority, which isn't illegal here yet.
Hey, Georgia government. Hey, y'all. I know you'd hate to contradict Dr. King, but any chance you can bend that arc of the moral universe a little faster? Just a little bit. Like I was kind of just assuming sexual assault was always illegal everywhere.
Yeah, bunch of guys from the Epstein files throwing their priest collars on the ground. Foiled again.
Yeah, right. So here's the thing. There are certain professions where one's position of authority is so great that any sexual relationship with somebody they have authority over has to be considered improper. Like, for example, a psychiatrist and their patient, or a teacher and their student.
A podcaster and a mere mortal.
If you say so. The very fact that one person is wielding so much authority in this relationship makes genuine consent effectively impossible. And any objective view of that list would conclude that clergy member not only belongs on it, but should lead the fucking list. When you're speaking for God, God better not be saying, I think you should fuck my conduit. And yet, only 14 states and 1 district have what are called adult clergy abuse laws that prevent that.
Okay, wait, Noah. Are you trying to make nun porn illegal?
No.
Because this is how you make nun porn illegal.
Not at all. No. I don't put words in my mouth. Well, so for what it's worth.
It's the name of the nun porn I was talking about.
With the ruler. Yeah, I've seen that one. So for what it's worth, Georgia is poised to make that 15, meaning that at least on this particular subject, Georgia will be more progressive than Michigan, New Jersey, New York, or California, which is fucking mind-boggling.
Damn right. We love our nun porn here in New Jersey. We're on to you.
And Michigan.
But the bill was introduced by a Republican and has 23 Republican co-sponsors, and Democrats, for all their flaws, are the party where you don't really have to wonder where they stand on clergy raping people. So it passed the Senate not just easily, but unanimously. And it doesn't look like it's going to encounter much opposition in the House. The only real concern at this point is that the legislative deadline is April 2nd. So if somebody in the House really did want to kill it, they probably could get away with that without actually having to vote against it.
Cool. So, hey, just spitballing here. Maybe don't have bills that turn into pumpkins.
That'd be good.
Just don't do that. Like, if I don't file my taxes by April 15th, the deadline, I can't just send them a pumpkin. It's not over.
Too late.
Okay.
Too late.
To be fair, this year you can, but you're not supposed to be able to do that.
Yeah, probably.
They'd probably just hire the pumpkin at this point.
But yeah, so kudos to Georgia and all, but holy fucking shit, is it incredible that this is something that even needs to still be done. And the fact that clergy aren't already included on these lists, to my mind, is pretty damning evidence that at some point in the past they fought to be excluded from it. They fought for their continued right to groom children and take advantage of women that they are counseling. And unless this is the start of a nationwide clergy-led campaign to make sure that every state has a law like this one on its books, it's pretty damning evidence that they still are.
And in Ave Maria news, many of my sexual fantasies take place on the island nation of Japan. And this week, I'm pleased to announce that one of them came true. No! Podcast listener, we might not have found a Frieza costume that fits Heath yet, but the High Court of Tokyo has ordered the Unification Church to dissolve.
Oh.
And that? Pretty damn close.
Okay, yeah. I told you I don't care if it fits. It's better if it doesn't fit, if you think about it, right?
No.
Either way, really.
I stand firm on this, damn it.
It's the guy with the purple stuff and the big purple head
with
thingy.
The purple stuff. You're ruining this more and more by the moment.
I don't believe you.
Right. So first off, big thanks to Eric for being the first to send us this story to scathingnews@gmail.com. When we become supreme rulers of the United States, thanks to a clever combination of hoarding scientific calculators and maritime law, you get to dissolve the church of your choice, Eric. scathingnews@gmail.com.
Are we Are we hoarding the maritime law as well? So, and by the way, Eric, when we say that, we mean that you get to dissolve it with acid, like dissolve the church. You got to let the people get out first, of course, unless you choose Westboro Baptist, obviously.
Yeah. So for those of you unaware of the Unification Church, formerly known as the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification, it's a very popular cult church in Japan that specializes in stealing old people's money and turning them into irredeemable loons.
Yeah, it's a church. Got it.
Yeah, it's kind of like their MAGA, except their guy's already dead.
Mm-hmm.
They're so bad that in 2022, a guy killed Japan's then prime minister for his cozy relationship with the church. And the result was everyone going, that guy has a point. We should really look into that church. That's really...
Yeah, no, the rebrand has been successful enough that I need to remind people that the Unification Church, that's the Moonies, right? Because I guess when your cult has become the go-to example of cult, you really need to fucking rebrand. So
yeah. Well, that looking into went badly for Unification. According to the Japan Times, quote, it is estimated that over 1,500 people have been victims of the organization's coercive donation tactics, with damage fees totaling approximately 20.4 billion yen. And because this isn't America, Japan is actually doing something about it. Again, from the Japan Times. The Tokyo High Court ordered the dissolution of the Unification Church on Wednesday, upholding a decision made last year by a lower court. The group will lose its status as a religious organization and will be limited to continuing its activities only as a voluntary organization that does not get tax benefits. In the liquidation procedure set under the Religious Corporations Act, a lawyer appointed by the district court is to seize control of the Unification Church's assets and will proceed to compensate those affected by the organization. End quote.
Okay, good stuff. I'm sure the Unification Church is like extra evil with their tactics, but I'm genuinely not clear how every major church isn't doing a pretty decent amount of those exact same crimes that you described.
Well, it genuinely is just a difference in scale. Like, I looked pretty deeply into it. They should be charged with third-degree churching or something like that, right? Because the difference is, like, they don't ask for 10%. They ask for 98% or whatever. That's the difference.
Yeah. So needless to say, the Unification Church has cried persecution, but nobody's really listening because they suck so hard. So if you're looking for some unambiguously good news, which you may or may not touch yourself to, your preference, this is it.
Now, if only they could dissolve that church with a bunch of phallic tentacles, right?
So you did see my email to Heath.
And you did see how the costume was fitting.
Terribly.
Nice.
Awful.
And finally tonight,
baggy in all the wrong places.
In papal conclavicular.
Okay, that's actually really fucking good. It won't be obvious why for a minute, but that's really fucking good.
You got to listen to our show twice.
You'll get there. Pope Bobby Southside, in his capacity as the direct conduit to the God of the universe for 1.4 billion Catholics, thought it was important to finally weigh in about looksmaxxing. The Vatican's International Theological Commission released their official guidelines on the topic of body stuff with a document entitled Reflecting on Christian Anthropology in Light of Certain Future Scenarios for Humanity. So, okay, that was...
Rolls off the tongue.
Just catchy. That was nonsense. I'll translate. The tacit title is We're Transphobic.
Yeah.
Also, looksmaxxing is gross, which is true. But they're going to hide the bigotry behind vague language about cosmetic surgery and stuff like that. And a big thanks to Stormy D for sending a link to ScathingNews@gmail.com. And for the subject line, Dermatologesis News.
Nice.
The Vatican mentioned the godless excesses of skincare, too.
Oh.
So according to the highest authority for a religion with a savior whose physical body got magically morphed into infinite crackers and bad wine, here's the problem with body-changing stuff. Quote, we cannot ignore the trends that reduce the body to biological material to be enhanced, transformed, and remodeled at will. Especially in the West, advances in cosmetic surgery offer tools that significantly change the relationship with one's own corporeality and therefore with reality and with others. This leads to a widespread cult of the body, which tends towards a frantic search for a perfect figure, which always stays fit, young, and beautiful. In this dynamic, it is no longer necessary to accept one's own body to realize one's own identity. It can be transformed according to the tastes of the moment.
Adding, quote, I actually look svelte for a guy my age. I do not need to fucking diet.
So if we set aside the thinly veiled bigotry, no, we're not setting that aside. We're saying it again.
I was going to say.
That was bigotry. We saw that. Also, with that firmly reestablished, it seems like the Vatican might be warning against something stupid as well. That would be the popular new trend called looksmaxxing. And if you're not familiar, it's exemplified by the influencer called Clavicular that I did the thing about earlier. He's going to get a whole episode of Citation Needed soon, but I'll give you a little bit of context. This guy claims that he hits himself in the face with a hammer on purpose to make small fractures in his jawline, which then, I guess, heal into a more attractive jawline in his head.
I am so jealous of him for getting to hit his face with a hammer.
And look, can we say, honestly, if the church was just explicitly coming out against Clavicular, we would not be reporting on it, okay? Child rape cabal or no, I will not be on the same side as Clavicular. I stand firm.
So yeah, the trend toward a ridiculous idea of beauty is a bad thing.
Sure.
But as you might expect, on the rare occasion when the Catholic Church lands on a good answer, they just got lucky. The reasoning was extremely stupid. According to the document, these transformations of the body influence the relationship with the mystery, and that's capitalized. Mystery is capitalized. I don't know. With the mystery of the origin and the ultimate end of human life. When human beings reduce created nature, person, cosmos, to matter to be transformed, they no longer manifest the glory of the Creator, also capitalized, but replace him.
Aww.
End quote.
Cool.
Yeah, no, they're foreskin obsessed. God hates it when you alter your body. He really does.
Yeah, right. The document also made sure to make a decree that blessings and exorcisms over Zoom don't count. So solid addendum. Makes sense.
No, they don't.
No, honestly, I can empathize with that. Being on Zoom with the demon and you're like, by the power of... Sorry, you go. No, you go.
I think we have a lag.
So the AI summary says my mother's socks kooks in hell. I don't know what that means.
Hey, demon here.
Craig,
is my audio good? Are my
Craig,
levels
if you
good?
don't mute yourself, I'm going to kill you with
mute?
my
You want me to hit me?
No, not you, Craig.
Wait, don't hit me.
Fuck. Why is your dog in the room?
So bottom line, International Theological Commission of the Vatican, you're bigots. Maybe fucking stop. But also, to whatever extent you wanted to roast Clavicular, we're very good with it. I agree with the Catholic Church about something. And Clavicular made that possible.
Oh, there you go.
Congrats to him, I guess.
All right, well, now I need to prove to Eli that the face hammer thing is definitely wrong before he tries it. So we're going to wrap the headlines there. Heath, Eli, thanks as always.
Jumanji.
And when we come back, we'll get epistolary once again.
I mean, I assume they like it for the same reason dudes like lesbian porn.
Okay, honestly, that's never really been my thing.
Really?
Yeah, I don't understand why anyone would want to watch themselves be incredibly unnecessary.
Ah, like watching a podcast on YouTube.
Exactly.
Hey, guys, you ready for Bible Peace Theater?
You mean the part of the show where we act out the Bible so our listeners don't have to read it? We sure are.
All right. Oh, hey, Don, when did you get here?
Oh, Eli put a bong shaped like Homer Simpson into a summoning circle.
Yep, that makes sense.
So where were we?
Ephesians.
Nice. And did Paul actually write this one, or are we dealing with another phony?
It's a tricky question. Okay, so most modern scholars believe that this was written by someone in Paul's circle, like as a way to bat clean up on some of his less clear, rantier things that he said. But there was a lot of early scholarship to try to prove that Paul did, in fact, write Ephesians, to the extent that some authors got downright Bosnickian about it.
Oh, you mean they made stuff up?
Yep, they sure did.
Okay, that's not my verb. My verb is for a different thing.
Not a verb. Anyway, where did we land?
Well, so for the purposes of Bible Peace Theater, I feel like we just pretend that he did write it because he supposedly wrote it from jail, and we just used the change of scenery.
Fair enough.
Hey, Paul, someone is here to see you.
Hey, excellent. Any word on getting me into general population?
Not really a thing during this time in history.
Oh. Because I have this thorn from the devil?
All right. He's all yours.
Have you seen Oz?
That show was problematic for a lot of reasons.
Oh, was it?
I didn't really watch.
Oh, J.K. Simmons is fantastic.
I bet. So, did you want to write a letter or something?
Yes, I did. Okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
Dearest Ephesians, blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, who hath blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Christ.
In Christ, got it.
Oh, sorry. I was actually not quite done with that sentence.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, go on.
Okay. According as he hath chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be in holy and without blame before him in love, having predestined unto us the adoption of children by Jesus Christ to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will, to the praise of the glory of his grace, wherein he hath made us accepted in the beloved.
Okay. Sorry,
in whom we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of his sins according to the riches of his grace, wherein he hath abounded towards us in all wisdom and prudence, having made known unto us the mystery of his will according to his good pleasure, which he hath purposed in himself, that in the dispensation of the fullness of times he might gather together in one all things in Christ, both which are in heaven and which are on earth, even in him in whom we also have obtained inheritance.
You already in whom?
Being predestined according to the purpose of him who worketh all things around the counsel of his own will, that we should be the praise of his glory, who first trusted in Christ, in whom ye also trust.
It's 3 whoms deep now.
Ye were sealed within that Holy Spirit of promise, which is the earnest of our inheritance until the redemption of the purchased possession unto the praise of his glory.
Of his glory. Okay, got it. So
wherefore,
come on. What are you, Winnie the Pooh?
I also, after I heard of your faith in Lord Jesus Christ and love unto all the saints, and what is the exceeding greatness of his power to us who believe according to the workings of his mighty power.
Not taking the bait.
Which he wrought in Christ when he raised him from the dead, the body, the fullness of him that filleth all in all. How's that?
200-word compound sentence. So very convoluted that medieval monks are going to spend their lives diagramming it.
Oh, really? So bad?
Yeah, man, bad.
Beans.
Okay, you ready for your second sentence of that letter?
Okay, yeah, and it's going to be shorter this time, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, great.
Glad to hear it.
Wait, who's this?
Oh, I'm the guard. I'm just sort of here to lend a sort of outside perspective.
Oh, really?
Don came all this way. You have to give him lines.
Fine. Okay, so, when you were not saved, you were dead, for you worshipped the Prince of Air.
Wait, who's the Prince of Air?
Oh, that's Satan.
Dude, what?
Yeah, no, the Bible is very clear that Satan controls all the storms.
I do?
Yeah, so he's the Prince of the Air.
Fuck yeah, I am.
Okay, Satan, get out of the Bible. I'm doing a thing. I'm trying to write
I'm going.
Sorry about that. Anyway, Satan.
Sorry, I was just checking.
Anyways, now that you're all saved, all you have to do is believe in Jesus.
So we're sticking with the being a good person doesn't matter thing?
Yeah. I'm worried that if people were saved by works, then they would get braggy.
Braggy about doing good things?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, isn't it better to do good things and brag about it than not to have done good things?
Exactly.
But what about the 10 Commandments?
Oh, Jesus destroyed them with his flesh.
With his flesh?
Yeah, you know, like with the sacrifice of his flesh. Why? What were you picturing?
And it's Jesus from the top rope onto the 10 Commandments. I've never seen anything like this.
I was picturing that, what you just said.
Got it. Anyways, as I said in my last letter... Wait, what last letter?
It doesn't exist. Or it doesn't, it was lost to time. But like most people agree that this author he just stuck that in there in the hopes that would lend credibility to the book.
Like when I tell Heath to Google something I just made up?
But exactly, yeah.
And yet you're confused by the use of Bosnickian, really?
You don't have to verb a thing just because it happens, Heath.
It's an adjective, but I do admit it's rather Heathian of me, I suppose.
It's quite tall of you.
Et tu, Don? Really?
Hey, I didn't have any lines.
Anyways, as I was saying, as I write this to you from prison, where I am imprisoned in a jail, I just want to remind you all that we are united in Christ, Jews and Gentiles.
Wait a minute. So Jews go to heaven too, huh?
No, sorry, Jews who believe in Jesus and Gentiles.
Got it.
Therefore, I, prisoner of the Lord...
Oh, well, now that just sounds like God is keeping you prisoner.
Don't interrupt. Do beseech you to be kind to each other and love one another.
Oh, well, that's actually kind of...
Wait for it.
You know, this reminds me of when Jesus went to hell.
And there it is.
Wait, what?
Okay, so to be fair, the common interpretation of that passage is just that Jesus died and went into the ground. But the Catholics think it means that he literally went to hell and saw sinners and then rose up to heaven.
Okay, do they say what they think he did while he was in hell?
Not really, no.
Okay, because it seems like that might be a little awkward.
Behold, my children, I have arrived.
Oh my God, Jesus! Thank God you're here.
Sorry, do I know you?
Oh, Barnacus, I went to that one speech of yours and I got eaten by a tiger.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. I heard about that. Oh, so, the one speech didn't convince you nearly enough, huh?
Oh, well, yeah, no, no. But I was really close. I was. Honestly, I was going to come back next week.
Yeah, I see. Well,
So, are you here to help me?
Well, no. I was just kind of, having a look around, seeing,
Cool. All right. Well, me and the other guys,
Oh, wait, there are other people here?
Yeah. I don't know, maybe like a dozen. There's that lady who wouldn't let you touch her sheep. You remember her?
Oh, I do. Ooh, I'm glad she's here.
Yeah. Also, there's an olive tree. Anyway, how long are we, here for?
Oh, yeah. About that, forever.
Forever?
Well, I know, but hey, if it makes you feel any better, now that I've been alive and died, literally billions of other people are going to join you. So, you were here before it was cool.
Are you sure? It sucks down here.
I mean, does it though?
Someone told the devil he's the prince of storms or something like that. So he's just been shooting lightning nonstop.
You guys see that one?
Yeah, good one, buddy. Good one.
Ooh, right in the olive tree.
Yeah, that's where he tends to aim.
Okay, well, I'm going to head out now. Got to go to heaven, appoint some saints, the regular.
Oh, nice. Heaven, you need any help with that?
No, I got it. Thanks. So.
No, I know you do because I believe in you. For sure.
It's too late. I'm so sorry.
Figured. Worth a shot.
I mean, yeah, no, sure. Totally worth a shot, though.
Oh, shit. I forgot I called the doodly-doo. Where's the button?
Can I push the button?
No, Don, you can't push the button.
Pretty Donnian to want to push the button, right?
Oh, that's a stretch.
Whatever. Yeah, it was.
All right, let's see. What other advice do I have? Don't lie. Don't let the sun go down on your anger.
Oh, is that don't go to bed angry?
Yeah, I never understood that one.
I think the hope is you'll like work it out rather than letting things build up.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, okay. But can I be honest? I've never really loved that whole idea. Right? Like sometimes you need some time to cool down. I think telling people you got to work out every problem before the sun sets, like a fucking vampire movie, is probably forcing a lot of fights that would have been conversations if they just waited until their heads were clearer.
Satan, what are you doing here?
Oh, he's about to mention me.
It's true, I am. Don't give him a place to live.
Yeah, because I'm the Prince of Storms, is why.
Okay, you got the 3-beat. You happy?
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I don't want to be all Heathian about it.
I can't be two adjectives. That doesn't make sense.
Let's see. Don't lie. I said that one. Don't cheat. Don't steal. God hates rebellious children.
Really? Children?
Yeah. I'm probably speaking metaphorically, but also God doesn't like it when you're in public and there's like a kid talking to his mom all mean, and you think to yourself like, I probably shouldn't judge anybody else about like their parenting. But then you're like, yeah, but I would never talk to my mom like that. And when you tell people that, they assume that you mean like you get hit or something. But I think that's probably true for some people. But I like my mom. You know, like that's my mom.
Sure. Yeah.
Also, don't get drunk, but be filled with the Spirit. Huh?
Oh, yeah, like pun.
Right? It's one of the puns in the Bible.
In the Bible, yeah.
We're having fun. Okay. So women should submit to their husbands.
There it is.
But only because men should love their wives the way Christ loved the church, like his own body.
What?
Christ loved the church like his own body?
Yeah, without blemish or wrinkle.
Feels like you lost track of the metaphor a little bit.
That's how I was thinking.
Well, okay, how about this? Slaves should obey their masters for the same reason.
Yikes.
Wait a minute, sorry. Slaves?
Yeah, servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh, with fear and trembling, in singleness of your heart as unto Christ.
Okay, servants is better, I guess.
No. I checked every other use in the places in the Bible. It definitely means slave.
Fuck.
What? No, what's wrong with the slave thing?
I just think having a passage in the book that says slaves should obey their masters is going to be kind of a permanent gotcha. Like we'll never really be able to say stuff like, oh, it's a book of morals or it's a guide for good behavior, because there's a part where we say that slaves should obey their masters.
Well, would it help if in the late 20th century, the popular apologetic for this passage was that America did slavery wrong, and that's why we think slavery is bad?
It would not.
That does not help, no.
Well, beans.
Okay. Hey, remember this one? Put on the sandals of the gospel.
The thing you ended the last book with?
Yep.
Sure, nailed it.
And with the terrifying realization that fake Paul is just repeating himself now and there are still 16 epistles left, we're going to wrap things up and pick the story up again on the next installment of
Bible Peace Theater.
Before we get rambling this week, I want to remind you that there's less than a month left before our Good Friday live gam record in San Francisco. That's April 3rd. A few tickets are still available. Just go to GodAwfulMoviesLive.com or check the show notes. Anyway, that's all the blasphemy we've got for you tonight, but we'll be back in 10,022 minutes with more. If you can't wait that long, be on the lookout for a brand new episode of our sister show's Hot Friend God Awful Movies, debuting at 7 Eastern on Tuesday, and an even newer episode of our half sister show Citation Needed, debuting at noon Eastern on Wednesday. Obviously, this podcast would neither pod nor cast without the resolute dedication of Heath Enright, the dedicated resolution of Eli Bosnick, the resolute resolution of Lucinda Lugeons, and the dedicated defecation of Don Ford. I need to thank Kyle for providing this week's Farnsworth quote, and hey, dude, I am really sorry that we were unable to give you a sane commander-in-chief. Jesus, stay safe, man. But most of all, of course, I want to thank this week's and last week's best people: Jason, Arthur, Julie, Dan, Crazy Raccoon Lady, Nick, Sawyer, Cindy, Angie, Jim, Fra, Paul, Jen, David, Dave, All Darn Davey, Andrew, Other Andrew, Philip, Brian, Christian, and Susan. Jason, Arthur, Julie, Dan, Raccoon Lady, Nick, and Sawyer, who are sharp enough to split atoms. Be careful. Cindy, Angie, Jim, Paul, Jen, David, and Dave, who are hot enough to melt asbestos. And Davey, Andrew, other Andrew, Philip, Brian, Christian, and Susan, who even Right Said Fred admits he's not too sexy for. Together, these 21 absolute jackpots of humanity heeded the call to support our heathenry this week by giving us money. Not everybody can heed like them, but if you're the heeding type, you can make a per episode donation at patreon.com/Scathing Atheist, whereby you'll earn early access to an extended ad-free version of every episode. Or you can make a one-time donation by clicking on the donate button on the right side of the homepage at scathingatheist.com. And if you'd like to help, but you're saving all your money for a half gallon of gas, you can also help a ton by leaving a 5-star review, telling a friend about the show, and following us on social media. And speaking of social media, Tim Robertson handles that for us, and our audio engineer is Morgan Clark, who also wrote all the music that was used in the episode, which was used with permission. If you have questions, comments, or death threats, you'll find all the contact info on the contact page at scathingatheist.com.
A stronger evangelical presence in elite institutions could strengthen.
No. Do you want to just dub in? Like, you want to tag me in for strengthen?
I got this.
Don't mess up.
This content is CAN credentialed, which means you can report instances of harassment, abuse, or other harm to their hotline at 617-249-4255 or on their website at creatoraccountabilitynetwork.org. This podcast is a production of Puzzle and a Thunderstorm, LLC, and was created without the use of generative AI. Its contents may not be used for AI training. Copyright 2026, all rights reserved.